Hey guys. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry that I was out of pocket last week. I had full intentions of pre-recording both trainings and having them automatically scheduled in here. And y'all, I'm not that organized. Do you know when I know what I'm going to talk about for the training today? The second before I get on. So I pre-plan these the month before, like all throughout the months. I have this ongoing list of, oh, that would be a good topic. Oh, that would be a good topic. Or somebody needed this topic. Or I just learned this. Or this is really good information. Or I can say it another way. And I keep a running total of like ideas to use in this group. And then at the end of the month, I create all the topics for the next month. I send it out to you guys. And then I literally forget about it until right before I jump on. So I'm like, what am I talking about today? So I am not the most organized person. Spoiler alert, you can do really well in this business with ADD, with not being organized. I mean, check out my freaking desk. It literally looks like that 24/7. My husband's like, how do you know what you're doing? And I'm like, half the time I don't know. I mean, for instance, I accidentally earned a success trip. I mean, go me, right? But you should definitely know if you're going to earn that. It shouldn't be a surprise for anybody. So I'm not the most organized person. And the reason why I accidentally earned that is because I missed the email that said we were going to have bonus points. So I thought I missed it by a whole bunch of points. And the bonus points were exactly the number of points I needed to earn it. And I had no math going into that. Like it just was divine, literally divine intervention. The fact that I even saw it in time to correct it and make sure that they saw it, 100% God. Like God was like, listen, you've been doing good things. Here's this trip. So I'm taking my mom. Really excited. That's going to be in April. And I see Kelly, and Kelly's going to be there too, right? So we are going to have a great time. Today we're talking about how to get to your goal through recruiting. Woof, see? Sidetrack, squirrel. So, and I'm going to talk a little bit about our compensation plan, like not actual numbers or anything like that, but I don't know all of your compensation plans. So I do not know how each of you are able to generate volume points and commissions and things like that. So if this doesn't completely like mesh with your compensation plan, that's okay. Take what you like and leave the rest. Like just think about what I'm saying and would this work in my compensation plan? How about that? So for all of us, we come to a point where we don't necessarily need more customers. We need customer finders. And if you're in consumables, like I'm in a consumable model. I'm not just selling, one sex toy. I love to use that model. We don't need a new sex toy every month, just so you know. I mean, I love that one. That's my favorite direct sales company of all time. But if you're not in a consumable model, your customers aren't ordering from you every month. They're not replacing what they've used. Like, my activewear better last longer than 30 months. My cooking materials, pans and pots and knives. I mean, shit, I just bought Cutco knives. Those things are guaranteed for life, people. Like, I really don't want to be selling something that's guaranteed for life. Like, I love it. I buy it. I love to be a customer of it, but I don't want to have to find new customers every single month to continue to move forward in creating the same amount of volume that I want to have. I want to double my volume every month by adding new customers, but my old customers are still ordering, right? So in a consumable model, you quickly get to the point where you don't necessarily need new customers, but you need customer finders. So in all models, getting customer finders is amazing, whether you're consumable or not. And I'm not knocking these other companies, especially if you're making money. Like, stay where you are. Do not go looking for a consumable model. If you are making money, with Pampered Chef or Norwex, all of those are amazing products and amazing companies. If you found income there, stay right there. I mean, they do have some consumables attached to those because everyone knows how important consumables are. But what I'm talking about is coming from a everything is consumable mindset. Like we only have 3 products that are not consumable. And we have like, I don't know, the number ranges from 500 to 600 products, and they're all consumable. So I'm just telling you where my mindset is. So don't tell me I'm wrong. Just take it and try to work it in with what you're doing. Once you get to the point where you have a handful of customers, the way that you grow exponentially. So if you're as old as me and you remember the Pantene commercial, and she told 2 people, and she told 2 people, and she told 2 people, and she told 2 people. I remember seeing that and being like, wow. By the way, that's direct sales. Way back then, I thought it was cool, and I was just in middle school. Kelly LeBrock, I mean, who didn't want her hair? And she told 2 people, and they all told 2 people, right? That's direct sales right there. Only Kelly was making commission on that, not anybody else who was telling the 2 people. So I'm glad we solved that. But, I'm having a hard time keeping on subject today. You want to find customer finders. So I can make a pool of money. I'm only one person. If I'm just retailing products, there is only so much money I can make because I only have so much time to directly talk to or send a link to these customers. Now, social media has helped because I make money off my reels. I put a link in my reel comments and people check out all the time. In fact, I woke up this morning, I sold 4 products to strangers I've never met. Must have been from the reel because they clicked my link in the reel and they ordered the product that my reel was talking about. So you can definitely find other customers that way that don't take time. Like I redid that reel one time and that reel will continue to pay me because as it gets more views, it'll get farmed out to more people. And by the way, I boost my reels out. You guys should too. In Facebook, put comments in the reels, pictures, images, links, invitations to your product group, and your reel will get boosted back out because Facebook just thinks those are comments. And Facebook is like, ooh, people are talking in the comments of this reel. No, they're not. I'm putting my stuff in there. So you can go look at my product reels and see what I mean by that. Facebook is the only place you can put pictures and links in your reels, which is the reason why I use Facebook. That's one of the reasons. Plus my target market is on Facebook. We're old. We don't want to use Instagram. So very quickly, in order to like grow exponentially to the point where you're making, like moving up to a 6-figure income, like what I consider a full-time income. When I'm saying full-time, I'm talking about 6 figures and more. Definitely full-time could be, $50,000, but I'm thinking $100,000 and up. You need to be finding customer finders. So I'd love to find a new customer, but I would much rather find a customer finder, somebody who wants to do the business and is going to start sharing their affiliate links with their friends to help generate more volume. So in my organization, until that person who's on your team has created their own organization or ranked up, their volume counts as your volume as well. So in my organization, and y'all tell me a little bit about how yours works. Yes, it works like that. No, mine's different. Like we don't share volume at all. Like it's all linear. I haven't looked at everyone's comp plans to know, but I have been in, my first direct sales company was Premier Designs, and that was in the year 2000. Yeah, 2000. I think it was the whole year of 2000. So, I'm going on 24 years of messing around with direct sales companies. I've seen a few of them. So, Premier Designs, Advocare, Herbalife, and then Nu Skin is where I landed. So, I'm really into health and wellness, and Nu Skin's got skin, health, and wellness. So, that's how I ended up here. Actually, I ended up here because of whitening toothpaste. I wanted white teeth. Everybody else did too. It was a business model. So that's how I ended up here. But those 4 that I just talked about have similar model. When you bring people into your organization, all of your points count the same until they decide they want to promote to their own organization. And then their points are their points, but you get like a leading bonus or a commission off their whole organization based on you're the director of business development and your team is doing well, so you're going to get a bonus. Just like in the real world. If you work in the corporate structure, I worked in medical sales, my DBD, director of business development, she made a bonus based on me and all my reps' ability to sell. And that was bonusing her on her ability to train us to sell, right? So we made all the commission and she made a bonus. So it's the same thing in direct sales, only the bonuses are bigger because they're not paying a sales staff. Like they don't have to pay me a salary, so they can bonus me more, right? Which I love. So when you are looking to meet your volume goal, if you want to chunk it down, like say you want to have, I'm going to use a small number. Say you want to have 4,000 a month in organizational volume. And you can easily do 2,000 a month, but 4,000 with your current customers, and you're adding some customers here and there, but 4,000 a month feels like a stretch, okay? I'm going to pick 4,000 a month because in our organization, that's when you double your bonus is at 4K. And so I tell my team, your minimum is 4K. Like that's where you want to hit because I want to get double everything. I'm not here to do the minimum. I'm going to double and triple everything I can. So 4,000 is a stretch, but 2,000 is something you're kind of able to do. Like you kind of have to work, but 4,000 is a stretch. So it's easier to go find 4 new people to join your team and show each of them how to create 5,000 volume points than it is for you to try to sell another 2,000 volume points. Does that make sense? So you can write that down. You're trying to get to 4,000 volume for the month. Last month you did 2,400. This month you think you're going to do 2,500. It's a big stretch thinking, oh, where am I going to come up with that other 1,500 in volume? That's a lot of selling. That basically means double effort. Maybe you have a full-time job. Maybe you don't have enough time to double your time spending online. Or if you're in a party situation, that would be double the parties. That's really overwhelming to think about. Plus your time is limited. But what if you found 4 people who could each do 500 volume points, and you can help 4 people sell 500 volume points because you are selling 2,000 volume points. So you know how to do 500 volume points in a month because you easily do 2,000 volume points a month. Does that make sense? So talking to the people about the business, we're going to go a little bit further into talking about the business. When you first get into direct sales, your business is the products. Once you've decided that you want to build a team and you want to turn hundreds a month into thousands of dollars a month to go toward that full-time income, your product is the business. You're not going to get to multiple thousands a month selling products, retailing from your Facebook page, or going to having virtual parties. It's very difficult to get into 6 figures and multiple 6 figures a year by yourself. I'm sure there's some superstar who has done it. I'm a very good retailer, and the reason I'm a very good retailer is because I only retailed for so long. I did not talk about my business when I first started because my feelings were all sorts of stories in my head. I'm really not making the money that I think, other people want to make. I'm really not good at it. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never read the comp plan. I can't explain it to anybody. I don't even know how to click around the back office. I don't know how to get somebody started with their first, but I had all the reasons. So I was like, I'm going to stick to what I know, and I'm just going to retail. And then I started to talk about the business a little bit more, and I just wasn't attracting quality prospects because I wasn't a quality prospect at that time. I was retailing, but I still had all these stories in my head going around about why I probably wouldn't be able to do any of this. And y'all, I was just looking to make my mortgage payment, and I thought that was impossible. I was I lost my child support, and my child support was paying my mortgage, and it was $1,200 a month at the time. And I was like, man, I just want to I need to replace that money. And I was already working 2 jobs. I didn't have time to even have another job. I mean, I was working Monday through Friday, And then every other weekend, because that's when I didn't have my kids, I was working 2 12-hour days at the hospital. So I only had 4 days off a month, and those were my only 4 weekend days with my children. So I didn't have time to do parties. I didn't have time to do, I had to really like focus on creating that income. And so that's what I kind of got good at, was like, I literally, in the beginning, I took our most popular product, White Knee toothpaste, and anything that I needed, I divide that by how many toothpaste I needed to sell. So, you know, my goal was to do my mortgage, but at the very beginning, I was like, oh my gosh, my cell phone bill just went up. Let me see if I can pay my cell phone bill. So my cell phone was like, I don't know, but I think at the time it was like $100 a month or something like that. And I was like, okay, that's 10 toothpaste. I got to go find 10 toothpaste, sell 10 toothpaste that I can pay. And then I went to, you know, I started to get busy, and I was like, man, if I could have a housekeeper, I could have more time to work my business. Let me see how much a housekeeper is going to be. I found the sweetest single mom who was like, I'll clean your house for $75 every 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, that's $160 a month. That's another 16 toothpaste. I got to go sell 16 toothpaste, and then I can pay for the housekeeper twice a month so I can have more time to work my business. Like, I just chunked it down like that. And so I wasn't thinking about recruiting and bringing more people in. Had I'm going on to my 7th year. If I had, I would be so much further ahead. And I, don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful for where I am, proud of myself. I think my trajectory is amazing. I'm way further than 95% of anybody who's ever tried direct sales. However, it's never good enough. I look back and think if I had started, so if I could tell you one thing, it's work with your coach, figure out how to recruit immediately, make sure you have her help. So the model that we use is you don't have to know what you're doing. In fact, we don't even want you to know what you were doing. We only want you to know the next best thing that you need to do so that it doesn't become too overwhelming. So we're not going to put you in a whole bunch of training. We're not going to teach you all the things. We're just going to teach you the next thing you need to know. And we also want you to tell your friends, hey, I'm creating some extra money online. It's super fun. Do you want to know more? And when they say yes, you send them to your coach, and your coach will train them alongside you so you learn. So you're learning how to coach, but you don't have to coach. So get with your coach or your upline or whatever you call the person who brought you into the organization and say, hey, I'm not good at this. I don't know how to coach. I'm afraid, all the things. If I find people, can I send them to you? And in a group chat, can I watch you train them until I learn? If she doesn't say yes, go above her. And if she doesn't say yes, go above her. And go until you find somebody who is willing to do that for you, because they are developing leaders who are going to pay them big time down the road. The problem is, in a lot of organizations, if you're not directly earning the next person money, they will not work with you, answer the phone, answer your messages, nothing. And that's the biggest problem in direct sales. So in our organization, I can go multiple levels up. In fact, on month 1, the top 1% of the company, who was 12 levels above me, sent me a text and said, man, I see all this volume that you're creating. Would you like me to personally mentor you? I'm at the top 1% of the company, and I want to help you do the same thing if you're interested. And I said, yes, all day to that. And that's how I'm here today. I'm here today because somebody 12 levels above me reached down. I was not making her a single dime at the time. And now I'm 2 levels below her because she said, this person wants it. And I'm going to work with her until everybody else falls away in between her and me. And then she's going to be mine, directly impacting my paycheck. So I hope and pray you're in an organization who feels that way too, who is willing to give you do work with you and for you to help you way before you're actually affecting their paycheck. And if you're not, just keep looking. And if you can't find somebody, then you need to switch companies. I'm going to tell you that right now. You need to go somewhere where you're going to get mentored by the people making the money that you need to make. Like, if you want to make 7 figures, you need to be one-on-one working with somebody who's making 7 figures. If you want to make 6 figures, you need to be one-on-one working with somebody who's making 6 figures, not the person who brought you in the business. The person who brought me in the business does not train me. Let me repeat that. The person who brought me into the business does not train me, and she never has. She answered some questions in the beginning, And then quickly, the top 1% reached down and said, let me scoop you up. I want to make sure you get everything you need to be successful. Expecting somebody who just started the business a month before you is not acceptable in an organization where you need to go be able to learn as fast as you want to grow, right? Because otherwise your income is limited to as much knowledge as that next person has. So you need to immediately be thinking about bringing people on board. And you should not be concerned with your ability to train them. So first step is get with your coach. If I start recruiting people, can I put them in a group chat with you? Will you train them and let me watch and learn from you until I'm able to do it by myself? If she says no, go to her upline. If she says no, go to her upline. If she says no, go to her upline. If she says no, have a real hard talk with yourself. I might be looking for another place to be. I hope none of you find out that there's multiple no's. I really hope that in all organizations, there is somebody willing to help you regardless of how much or little you're going to impact their paycheck. And then you start talking to people, and the first thing you do is, hey, I'm relatively new. I want to make sure I get all your questions answered. So I'm going to pop you in a chat with somebody on my team. And if you decide to come on board, we're going to both work with you together so you're never left alone. That's one of the reasons why people quit in this business, is because they're left alone. And if you put them in a chat with 2 or 3 or 4 people even, then they're never left alone. So if I'm on a call, I have somebody else who can answer. If I go to sleep early, so I always pair them with somebody who stays up late. I get up super early and my other person sleeps in. So it's just like a great teamwork. And this is a team sport. You should be doing everything as a team. And people are joining for the community. They're joining for the paycheck. They're joining for the personal development. They're joining for the sense of worth. You can't really have sense of worth if you're working by yourself, right? So let me know about down below. Does your upline help you train your people? And are you being mentored by somebody making the money that you want to make? Because that makes all the difference. And I'm going to talk about this a little down the couple sessions from now this week. By the way, there's going to be 4 sessions this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 10, because I missed 2 of them last week. So I'm going to catch you up so that I can start February with a whole new topic. Spoiler alert, I don't know what the topic is for February. So if you guys have an idea, or if there's something that you still haven't heard, please give me a topic, because I'm starting to be like, oh, I feel like I've said everything. If you have just got here and you haven't gone to guides, there are 8 trainings a month all the way back to August. And you can go through those trainings that are really good. But we're going to be talking a little bit about, if you haven't made the money in direct sales, how do you recruit? And the answer is the person that you're training with. I would always say, I'm on track to make $10,000 a month, even before I was making $10,000 a month, because the person training me was making multiple $10,000 a month. And I was on track to do what she did. And I was hitting every goal, and every little goal I would set, I would hit. So I'm on track to be making $10,000 a month. And you're saying that because you are going to put them in a chat with somebody who is making way more than that. So you can assure them that we know how to make that kind of money, and you are good to come on board with us. So when you're saying, you don't have to lie, you don't have to insinuate that you're making the money that you're not. You're on track to making, I think when I first started, I would say $1,000 a month. I'm on track to make $1,000 a month. I'm on track to make $2,000 a month. I'm on track to make 5. I'm on track to make 10. Now I say I'm on track to make $25,000 a month. That's what I say. And that's because I am connected with people who are making way more than that. And I know I can help somebody make less than that and more than that, because I've done both. I've made less than that, and I know I'm working with somebody who's making more. So we're going to talk a little bit more about what that looks like and how you can help bring somebody on and really have the belief that you can support somebody. If they come to you saying, I'm making $10,000 a month now, I would have to make at least that much. I'm like, great, let's sign up. Not even a hesitation. Certainty is magnetic. And when you are certain about what you can do, people will come to you, and you will meet your goals a lot faster if you're bringing people on board and you're finding customer finders. And it's so much easier to help 4 people learn how to find customers and they all go out and each find 10 customers than for you to go find 40 new customers. And you can do that in even a 2 weeks time. So between now and the end of the month, go find 4 people who want to make an extra couple $100 this month. It's not hard to do. And show them how to each find 10 customers in the next 14 days. That's less than 1 new customer a day. And create an additional, several thousand volume points between now and the end of the month. And it's doable when you find customer finders. So I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Let me know if it resonates with your business plan or not, or if it's way off. Like, I haven't looked at all of them, but curious to know, like, are you guys able to share volume points to a certain point? Are you never allowed to share volume points? Like, how does that work in your organization? Just curious. And you guys go do some recruiting. Bye, y'all.